No Scottie Barnes, but Immanuel Quickley dominates in Milwaukee. The Raptors keep on winning. Let's go to the film room.
The only thing that's originally filmed is that and I've studied older films and tried to figure out how I got that impression. I was getting amazed when I'm in the cutting room.
The unique thing about film is an art form
exactly.
is the editing.
Folks, Immanuel Quickley had one of his best games as a Raptor, dropping 32 points on 19 shots. He was electric in a game where they absolutely needed it without Scottie Barnes. And it's no coincidence to me that this happened at the same time as Jakob Poeltl had one of his most Jakob Poeltl type games this season for the Toronto Raptors. The connection between the two is very, very seamless in the pick and roll, and Immanuel Quickley's efficiency is very high. It's actually higher when Jakob is on the floor versus without, and it's because of these two-man actions that they run, pick and rolls, where they can really work through what options they have. So here, they flow through a handoff. Quickley doesn't like it. Jakob instantly rescreens here, and so because Miles Turner is in a drop, IQ can attack this defender a little bit more, and Jakob is near the top of the league in screen assists for a reason. He's very good at getting guys open. Now, because the Bucks were in drop, this gives IQ a little bit more space to operate, but it also gets Ryan Rollins in jail. And so, boom, the second part to this action is Jakob sealing off Miles Turner from protecting the basket. IQ realizes that, sneaks past him, and is able to finish with the layup. Very similar action here, right? So pitches it to Jakob Poeltl at the three-point line, and now Ryan Rollins, who's pressing up on IQ, has to make a decision as to which way he's going to go. He fakes, IQ gets the lane, and now is able to just drive to the basket and finishes. Similar situation here, right? So again, Miles Turner is in a deep drop, and so Yak is going to run a dribble handoff. Really, really great job throwing the between the legs pass to IQ, who just settles into this catch and shoot three-point shot. But I thought even without Jakob Poeltl, IQ did a really good job of working within the seams of the Raptors offense off of the ball. And so as you see here, while Brandon Ingram is doubled, right? Brandon Ingram in that mid-post area has always been elite. IQ is going to do a great job of making himself available as a catch and shoot option. And so he makes this rotation. The Bucks defense is in rotation. And so Jacoby finds IQ, Shed with the nice flare screen, and IQ catch and shoot three. I wish I had more of this play for you because it started with Immanuel Quickley and Jakob Poeltl pick and roll, but that fizzled out. It led to a Jakob Poeltl drive, and I wish I could show you what Immanuel Quickley is doing here, but IQ, and this is why Ryan Rollins, his face is pointed this way, because IQ was originally here, and then he's floating out to this area of the floor because he's making the passing window easier for Jakob Poeltl. And so as you see here, Jacoby is stuck, finds IQ, IQ pumps, engages the help, right? And that was created because of the fact that IQ moved off of the ball. Engages the help, Jacoby relocates, and knocks down the three. Again, moving in space, motion off of the ball. So IQ is going to drift a little bit here to create a better passing window to get him the ball. And so pick and roll here with CMB and BI. IQ first drifts out to, again, making himself open and available to the ball. And as soon as BI catches this, he understands that AJ Green is going to pick up this ball. That means there is an opening here for him to create and get an open shot. And that's exactly what happens. IQ floats, knocks down the three. So, folks, this was a very, very, very good Immanuel Quickley game. Of course, he's had stretches here where he's played some really, really good basketball. That 40-point game against the Warriors was really, really elite. But this one, in my opinion, kind of put it all together in a massive way. And a lot of that was because of Jakob Poeltl and his presence. But even outside of Jakob Poeltl, I thought he did an excellent job of working off of double teams that Brandon Ingram created. I thought he did a really good job of working within the flow of their, I guess, offensive scheme. At the same time, I thought he did a great job of attacking the Bucks' point of attack defenders and really putting pressure on them to guard and guard higher up the floor because IQ is such a talented shooter. Makes it a little bit more difficult for some of these, I guess, worst defenders on the Bucks to be chasing around IQ all day. This was a game that they needed him to do that because the Bucks are number one in zone frequency. They run more zone than anybody else in the NBA. And the Raptors have seen a lot of zone to start this year. They were near the top of the league in zone frequency in terms of seeing zone defense. And we saw that to start this game as well. The Bucks went to a zone to start the opening quarter of this game. The Raptors struggled out the gate, admittedly, and it felt like this was going to be a feast or famine type of game for their offense, especially without Scottie Barnes to facilitate as a playmaker. He is so important to their zone defense. And so how do you find solutions to breaking the zone? One, it's finding other guys to be in that middle of the zone. Again, I thought they did a great job with Brandon Ingram. They did a great job with Jamal Shed, who we'll get to in a second, and they did a great job with Immanuel Quickley as well. But it also is making your shots. And tonight, the Raptors hit their shots, folks. 16 of 46 from three. They made 16 threes. IQ was a big part of that. He was 5 of 11 tonight. Jakob Poeltl once again knocking down his threes. He was 3 of 8 tonight in a start over Scottie Barnes, obviously. And then Jamal Shed punched in with 2 threes. Mamu hit 3 threes. Jamison Battle, when the Raptors were rolling in the second quarter, knocked down a 3. Brandon Ingram knocked down a couple of threes as well. And so the Raptors' three-point shooting allowed them to create some separation for themselves in this game. Now, I had a friend ask me, like, is the reason the Raptors shooting is better right now, is it because of Jakob Poeltl's presence? I don't think it's all that. I think the pull-up shooting, the improved Immanuel Quickley shooting absolutely is a part of that, but I don't think all of it is in relation to that. And BI had a couple of good looks between him and Jakob too. Of course, BI has talked so much about how Jakob was a big reason he even wanted to come to Toronto, re-sign in Toronto, because Jakob is near the top of the league in screen assists, and that's not something to just throw away. His ability to lay out guys in screens really allows for players who need just a little bit more daylight to get their shots off. So IQ is one of those players. Brandon Ingram is an incredible tough shot maker, but it creates a little bit easier of a window for him to make plays and to be a playmaker in the pick and roll. So that's why Jakob Poeltl is incredibly important to this Raptors offense. So to answer that 3-point question, yes and no. Efficiency-wise, probably, possibly, especially in pick and roll situations. But overall, I thought the Raptors did a good job of knocking down their threes tonight. It was very important without Scottie Barnes in the game. We'll see what happens with Scottie. He's obviously out with personal reasons. I don't have any information as to what the personal reasons are. I hope Scottie is okay. I hope everybody with him is okay. Praying and wishing for the best. But overall, this Raptors team finding a way to win without, their best player and very clearly their best defender is a testament to the way they're able to figure things out. And they needed a big bench game in this one too. And that's where I think Jamal Shed was really important in this one. Shed came in instantly in that first quarter, had 4 of his final 6 assists to start that first quarter. He drew a charge. He got out in transition and finished with a layup. And immediately the Raptors got themselves back in the game in the first quarter. Shed was great. He obviously knocked down a couple of shots as well, which is big to his overall positive value on the team. But the Raptors leaned on him and Immanuel Quickley as sort of this double guard lineup. And we've seen them lean on them before, right? We've seen them kind of lean on the IQ, Shed, double point guard lineups because, again, it creates, one, more ball handling, more playmaking, and it allows IQ to roam off of the catch a little bit more and excel. And so this is good. Overall, a very, very impressive win for the Raptors, but a couple of different things are working and working well for them. One, Jakob Poeltl is starting to look more and more like himself. He had moments against the Bulls where you're like, okay, he's starting to figure it out. He's moving a little bit better. This was the best he's looked probably since like the start of November, which is a huge testament to like, I guess, the work he's done to get himself back to this point. Hopefully he continues to do that. It will be very interesting, in my opinion, to see how they approach this back-to-back coming up against OKC and San Antonio. They play OKC first, and then they play San Antonio on Wednesday. Both of them are home games. We don't know the availability of Scottie Barnes right now, but at the same time, it's likely that SGA and Jalen Williams and AJ Mitchell and Alex Caruso are not playing on Tuesday. So do you play Jakob and maximize your opportunity to beat the Thunder and potentially sweep the Thunder this season? Or do you hold Yak out of the first game because you need him against Wemby and against Luke Cornett on Wednesday? Very, very interesting. I'm very curious to see how they approach that. It also, of course, depends on Jakob's availability and how he feels, but he does look better, folks. I don't think there's any disputing that. And today was absolutely, it wasn't his best game of the season. I'd have to look through the log, but truthfully, after not seeing him for 30 games, it felt like his best game of the season. It was a quiet night from him in terms of like sheer box score numbers, but 6 points, 8 rebounds, 4 of those offensive. He had 2 assists. Had 2 steals as well, plus 14 on the night. It was clear that when he was on the floor, the Raptors were winning their minutes in a major way. And so if they can get that from him on any given night throughout the rest of this regular season, that's a huge win for this Raptors group that needs their starting center, that needs this guy to lay out guys on screens, because it provides an easier avenue for Immanuel Quickley to score. It provides easier avenues for Brandon Ingram to score. The only guy that I'm watching for right now with, I guess, a level of concern is RJ Barrett. RJ tonight had 7 points, 2 of 10 from the field, 6 rebounds, turnover, 0 of 3 from 3. Since coming back from his ankle injury in about 10 games now, he's averaging 15 points, shooting 40% from the field. He clearly hasn't looked the same. And look, again, I've mentioned this on previous shows, but it sucks because he was playing some of the best basketball of his career in November. And very obviously, the knee and ankle injuries are limiting his ability to play as well as he possibly could. It feels like he needs a ramp-up period to get back to that level. The three-point shot has evaded him as well, and so some of his utility off of the ball isn't necessarily there. And especially against a team like the Bucks tonight, where they ran a lot of zone, if you aren't making your shots, and if you don't have those elite playmakers in a Scottie Barnes to create opportunities for cutters, where is your utility on this team? So that's why I think the Raptors leaned on more Immanuel Quickley, Jamal Shed lineups, because truthfully, those were working more than the Immanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett lineup. I'm not ringing the alarm bell here, but yeah, they need RJ to play better. Them's the breaks. You know what I mean? Like it's as simple as that. They need RJ to be playing better basketball than he is as of late. And hopefully he ends up figuring that out, because I would like to see this Raptors team with all of them healthy and all of them playing well. Can we just get it for one game, y'all? Can we just do it for one? One single game would be great if all of them could play. Anyways, this was a pretty simple game from the Raptors' perspective. With no Scottie Barnes, they came into an arena with the Bucks, and the Bucks are playing better as of late. They're playing good basketball, especially they've added Cam Thomas, and they have a little bit more of a scoring punch without Giannis right now. They're in the hunt for a play-in spot without Giannis. They came into Milwaukee, took care of business, found a way to win, which I think is, again, impressive. And I know it's the whole, hey, they're beating up on bad teams, but part of how, that prime Kyle and DeMar era started was beating up on bad teams. That's how it started. It grew, obviously, into them becoming a contender and being one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference and refining their roster to get to that level. All of that is true. But, how that started was them beating up on bad teams and grinding out wins and figuring out how to be, the sum of their parts kind of wins, right? Let's see how we can punch above weight because we play together as a team and because we know how to win as a team. I think that applies to this Raptors group as well, especially when their bench plays well, especially when Jacoby is giving them good minutes, especially when Mamu is giving them good minutes. Mamu was good, especially in the first half tonight, had 15 points in this game. Especially Jamal Shed is playing good minutes. Now, with Jakob back, you have this front court combination between him, CMB, and Mamu that you can tweak and play with rotation-wise. And so It's good that the Raptors are figuring things out in an impressive way. Hopefully Scottie Barnes can add to that soon. We'll see how they do, because the schedule gets a little bit tough in March, and they're entering that tough schedule now. Let's see how they do against some better teams, folks. As always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do the things that you guys usually do. We appreciate you tapping into Raptors Republic as always. And we'll see you guys for Tuesday's game against OKC. Peace!